Shevchenko, welcome to CT Style. We have partnered with the Goff Law Group to bring you The Law Down. It's a segment in which we help you navigate important legal issues. Today we're discussing auto insurance and what you need to know. Here to break it down for us is personal injury attorney Brooke Goff. Brooke, welcome back.
Thank you for having me again. I appreciate it.
So, of course, I feel like this is common sense, but why do we need auto insurance? Why is it so important?
Well, most people think they need auto insurance to protect themselves if they're at fault for an accident. You actually need auto insurance to protect yourself from other people as well, because there's coverages in both. Auto insurance is obviously required in Connecticut. You have to have it. And if you don't have it, you'll get a ticket. But I mean, people are still driving around without it. I mean, I'd be lying to you if I told you maybe 10% of my cases that come in, there's an insurance problem.
Now there's so many different types and coverages to choose from. Where should we start? What do we need to know here?
So agents are great to have, but I've never seen an industry where people are just like, oh, so I have to have auto insurance. So they send, they call an agent. I don't know, I won't say a name on air, but they'll call an agent or they'll call an insurance company is more what I should say. And they'll be like, oh, okay, how much do you want to spend? Oh, okay, no problem, boom, 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 boom. And all of a sudden they're signing up for coverages. They don't even know what they mean. They don't even know that they have them. So I think it's like, for people, there's liability coverage, there's underinsured, uninsured motorist coverage, both required. Then there's MedPay, which is an optional coverage. Then there's collision, which is an optional coverage. Those are the four most important coverages, I would say.
Okay, and now is there a minimum that people need to have in our state? What's at play here?
Okay, so minimum insurance coverage is $25,000, $50,000. But here's the deal. Now, with that, I'll go on an explanation for you. So, I don't recommend anybody get $25,000, $50,000 of coverage. Most people that are driving around with that kind of coverage, they have no assets to protect. So if you get in an accident with somebody that has a 25, 50 policy, you better hope you have more coverage on your end, right? We can talk to you about that interplay too. It's something a lot of people don't know about. I always recommend you get coverage that is 25% more than the equity that you have and or money you have, like hard cash that you have in bank accounts. So if you have equity and money in the bank of $100,000, right? Well, then I obviously would recommend you have at least, $200,000 to $300,000. I'd recommend you just get, what you can afford as high as possible. It surprises me how many people are driving around in Audis, they're driving around in Cadillacs or Mercedes, and then I see their policy is $100,000. I'm like, the car was almost that, right? Like, how are you driving? I mean, it won't even cover your car. So if you can afford the car, you can afford the insurance. I always say that. If you can't afford the car, you can't afford the insurance, so don't get it. The interplay, I think that what's important though to talk about is maybe the types of coverages, because people get very confused. They come in my office and I say, how is do you have insurance? I have full coverage. What does that mean?
It's a broad term.
I don't even know what that means. I don't know what full coverage is. There's no box you check this as full coverage. I have no idea. And then we get into it. Most people think if they have collision on their car, that's full coverage. It's not. I mean, it's good coverage. You should have collision on your car.
But there's comprehensive, right?
There's all kinds of insurance. But the main ones that I deal with are liability, underinsured, uninsured motorist, and MedPay. So liability coverage protects you if you cause an accident. Yes, that's what most people get insurance for. They want to protect themselves if they cause an accident. But then again, what if somebody's driving around with not enough liability coverage for you? If they get in an accident, then you have to protect yourself too, right? So liability coverage, like I said, it's typically matches your underinsured, uninsured motorist coverage. So why would you spend more money and get more coverage to protect somebody else than you would on the underinsured, uninsured motorist side to protect yourself? So those are the coverages. I'd say 100, 300 at minimum in Connecticut. Go higher if you can. The one time you are at fault for an accident, somebody's going to break a leg. The one time that somebody hits you, you're going to break your leg, and they're not going to have enough coverage, and you're going to need your own. People complain all the time. I say, look, I'm sorry, ma'am, but the person that hit you had $25,000 of coverage, and you have the same thing. And they're like, I want to take their assets. I want to do this and everything. And I explain to them, I'm like, the judge is going to look at you and say, you had an opportunity to protect yourself in case something like this happened to you and you chose not to.
So this is an extremely important decision before you get into an accident, hopefully. Really great tips today. GoffLawGroup.net for more information. As always, Brooke Goff, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.